I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, being that, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one point in time.
Now remember this. No, I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36, and we fight.
24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because he's undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford.
In a live discussion, Terence Crawford spoke about Floyd Mayweather and his own legacy with confidence. He declared that Floyd's era in boxing has already finished and stressed that this is now his time. Crawford underlined that Mayweather's dominance is over and the spotlight should shift toward him as the current face of the sport. With firm conviction, he portrayed himself as the fighter leading boxing into the new generation.
Podcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is, and the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules. Exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
You don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Floyd Mayweather reminded fans that he also defeated Canelo Alvarez when he was already older, which demonstrates his skill and knowledge. He argued that Terence Crawford beating Canelo should not be treated as such a massive accomplishment since both of their notable wins came against the same rival. For Floyd, this proves that his own victory remains the greater achievement and Crawford's success does not elevate him above Mayweather's legacy.
Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this. No, I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36, and we fight. And now what y'all gonna say? Well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights he got.
Several analysts claim that Terence Crawford cannot yet be put on the same level as Floyd Mayweather because he does not hold the spotless 50-0 record Floyd proudly achieved. They argue that to truly surpass Mayweather's greatness, Crawford must go beyond defeating talented opponents such as Canelo Alvarez. A suggestion repeated often is that Crawford should climb up in weight and challenge David Benavidez, a dangerous and physically overwhelming fighter. Beating Benavidez would not only prove Crawford's courage, but also display his ability to overcome a rival many see as one of the hardest challenges in boxing today. Without such a win, some experts argue Crawford will never be remembered at Mayweather's level despite his current accomplishments.
You look at Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because he's undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people are scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Durant from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5, top 7.
Trainer Robert Garcia sees the matter differently. He believes Terence Crawford is unlikely to risk his reputation by facing David Benavidez. According to Garcia, Crawford is a smart fighter who understands how to secure his legacy without placing himself in unnecessary danger. Benavidez carries a massive size edge and presents a serious threat that could potentially ruin Crawford's unbeaten run. For Garcia, the risk is greater than the reward since Crawford already owns a remarkable resume and does not need to validate himself by moving outside his natural class. This outlook reflects the continuing debate between taking legacy-defining challenges versus protecting a near-perfect career.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, gave his opinion that although Terence Crawford clearly outboxed Canelo Alvarez, it should not be viewed as the ultimate standard. He noted that Canelo was no longer the same fighter he once was, pointing out Alvarez did not throw punches with the accuracy or strength he had before. Jeff explained that before this fight, many doubted Crawford and criticized his competition level. Yet even after beating Canelo, some still lessen his achievement. In Jeff's view, the win was impressive but requires perspective. Canelo was not at his very peak and therefore the victory does not automatically place Crawford beyond all doubt.
Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power. And obviously that proved not to be, or to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, it didn't look like, maybe once or twice it looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo really hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times clean, but I mean, Crawford, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. I mean, and he hit Canelo a few times. I mean, and Canelo took it as well. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, they both took decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was a case of you can't Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, like he's more of a punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically, Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, I guess he would say to himself, I need to, do a little more work, basically. And it seemed like he just did that. He would let his hands go.
Legendary champion Roy Jones Jr. shared a critical view of Floyd Mayweather's legacy. He said that apart from facing Canelo Alvarez, Floyd did not regularly meet the absolute best fighters of his time when they were in their prime. Jones questioned why Mayweather is often called the greatest when much of his resume includes rivals who were smaller, older, or past their best form. He suggested that the legendary status attached to Mayweather is exaggerated compared to what he actually achieved. For Roy Jones Jr., although Floyd's perfect record is historic, the level of opposition and the timing of those fights create doubts, especially when measured against versatile boxers like Terence Crawford.
Is Floyd Mayweather top 5?
No, not in my book. No,
not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5. Yeah. He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem. I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought. Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he's going to prison when he gets through. And then to take it even further, Cotto was not on his level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great. All right, so that's not great. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best two names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is, I'm not going to say who
because I can't name a person.
I'm not going to say who would have beat Floyd, like I said. I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James Toney.
Another analyst underlined the contrast between fame and pure ability. He admitted that Floyd Mayweather's worldwide following is unmatched, built on his long unbeaten record and huge pay-per-view numbers. Still, when judging skill alone, he suggested Terence Crawford could surpass Floyd. Crawford's natural southpaw talent, combined with his rare gift of switching stances mid-fight, enables him to adjust to any rival. This flexibility and variety have led many to argue that Crawford carries technical qualities even greater than Mayweather's. The discussion raises a wider question in boxing. Should greatness be judged by fame and numbers, or by raw ability and adaptability in the ring?
Terence Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.
Ex-world champion Shane Mosley gave a clear comparison between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. He stressed that Crawford's natural size provides him with an edge that Floyd never had. Being naturally bigger, Crawford can compete across more weight classes while keeping strength and power intact. Mosley pointed out that while Floyd excelled with defense and timing, Crawford's physical tools allow him to dominate foes in a way Mayweather could not. For Mosley, this makes comparing them directly unfair since Crawford's frame and natural build present chances that Floyd never possessed.
Who do you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he's moving weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Jeff Mayweather also reminded fans that when Floyd battled Canelo Alvarez, he was already past his best years. Though older, slower, and not as sharp as before, Floyd completely outclassed Canelo using defense, experience, and ring intelligence. This outlook shows the difference between Floyd's victory over Canelo and Crawford's. Jeff noted that while Crawford beat a more seasoned version of Canelo, Floyd did it when no longer in his prime, which makes his achievement stand apart. For Jeff, this proves Floyd's greatness remains unmatched, even if Crawford keeps adding wins to his career.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So.
What was Canelo? What, 23, 25?
Yeah, very, very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
Are you at the top of your career in your prime? You're in your prime. You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, for sure. And that's why Canelo was saying what he's saying.
But I mean, don't you? I mean,
make himself look like he did something great.
Crawford himself has commented on the comparisons with Floyd Mayweather. He acknowledges all that Floyd accomplished and admits his legacy is permanent. Yet Crawford underlined that Mayweather belonged to his own era and every era eventually fades. He explained that greatness does not last forever and a new generation will always emerge to claim the spotlight, presenting himself as today's fighter. Crawford shows respect for Floyd's career while at the same time asserting himself as the central figure of modern boxing.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
Oh.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore, so that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
Beat your...
Okay, that's a no. That's a no.
Trainer Greg Hackett praised Terence Crawford after his win over Canelo Alvarez. He described it as a victory that secured Crawford's legacy above Canelo's. Still, Hackett clarified this does not mean Crawford is beyond Floyd Mayweather. He emphasized that although the Canelo triumph is career-defining, it does not erase Floyd's accomplishments across decades. In Hackett's view, Crawford deserves recognition for such a dominant showing. But comparisons with Mayweather should be cautious as Floyd's record remains far deeper and more proven.
Because you gotta remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Damn. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit gotta make sense. Like you said, you be the shark, and then you be the wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, it is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me it don't make sense. But that's
really
what.
a monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend. But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Your line of suits get your money. Get the easy money. You ain't gotta sweat no more.
What's up,
Not saying you ain't gotta work, you ain't gotta sweat. He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terence Crawford series now, just doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody, the fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's cause when a guy see himself up here and then is fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he's like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you can get fucked up. I'm telling you. You don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get fucked up. I seen it happen.
Former champion Sean Porter spoke on his podcast about the significance of Crawford's victory over Canelo. He noted that Crawford not only accepted the challenge but dismantled Canelo in a way few expected. According to Porter, this performance proved Crawford's skill set reaches across many weight classes and different styles of opponents. He displayed adaptability, technical mastery, and mental toughness at boxing's highest level.
Podcast for Jake and Tyson, and you know, some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, you know, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is, and the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules. Exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting a... Forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced... Why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, you know, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You know, you lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
You don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Perhaps the most historic milestone separating Terence Crawford from most fighters is his unmatched achievement as the first boxer to claim undisputed titles in 3 different divisions. This accomplishment demonstrates not only versatility but also endurance across the stages of his career. Very few boxers in history have shown the capacity to dominate so thoroughly in multiple weights. This feat elevates Crawford's name in boxing's history books and guarantees that regardless of comparisons with Floyd Mayweather, his status among the all-time greats is already secured.
Terence "Bud" Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the first ever male 3-division undisputed champion in boxing history. Thank God the judges got this one right. But wow, what a technical battle this was. It was a very close fight, but as it went on, Terence was getting more and more comfortable in there. I remember in the 7th round, he even stood right in front of Canelo and fought him on the inside. Then in rounds 9 through 12, Crawford really started to open up on his flurries, gaining Canelo's respect. But the reason Crawford won this fight was because he was surprisingly durable at 168. He was able to do his thing because for the 36 minutes he was in there with Canelo, he was never really worried about what was coming back at him. I mean, Canelo just kept going to Terence's right side of his body, and that stung a couple times, but those were the really only hard shots Canelo landed. Unfortunately, this is terrible for Canelo's legacy because the smaller man beat him up, and Canelo's kind of been cherry-picking his opponents the last couple years. But well-deserved for Terence Crawford. It's gonna look amazing on his legacy. Boxing got it right tonight. On the biggest stage, with the most eyeballs, no controversy, just pure sport. And one of the best ever at the sport got it done tonight, Terence Bud Crawford.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Knockout Voyage for more amazing boxing content. Stay tuned for the next big fight.